Hi everybody, and thanks for joining me. We're looking at backscenes today in the video for building a model railway, and I've picked up these backscenes from a company called Art Printers. You can find their website. They're pretty good. They do these long rolls. They're about 1.5 meters in length and 32-ish centimeters tall, and I've got the ones which have got a sticky back on, which is quite handy. I'm going to put them on some perspex. You can see that I'm just getting out here, and they're going to go all the way along one side and up the other, like a L shape, because I've got nothing at the other sides at the moment. So this is one of the printouts that you've just seen me roll out from Art Printers. So the plan is here to effectively stick, I've got 5 of these effectively, I've got 4 of the perspex sheets underneath, and I've got this slightly shorter one just there. I hope to lay them onto the perspex sheets. There's a little bit of a gap at the top that I'm going to use as a fixing to go along this wall here and then along that wall there. So that's going to be effectively 4.5 meters, although it's only 4.3, there will be a bit of an overhang in that corner. Over here we've got 1.5 and then I think 83 centimeters going to that end there. So the idea behind that is I can fix these. These are they're not the paper versions, they're the polythene, whatever you want to call it. It's called the scratch and tear resistant polypropylene. So I've picked up the Into the Town range. So it's pack B, pack C, and I've got D1. The brilliant thing about these guys, Art Printers, I think they're called Art Printers. I'll put a link in the description where I got them from. When you phone them up, they only ever deal on the phone, and you phone them up and I said, I know you sell everything in pairs, but I need 5. Can you do something? It's absolutely not a problem. So I said to them what I wanted, and I said, how do I pay? And this is the weird thing, is we do it old style, and old style is we send you an invoice with the product. If you are happy with it, you pay us through check or backs. So I received them pretty quickly after making the order, which was fantastic, and yeah, I'm happy with it. I mean, from a distance, let me just see if I can get this up high. So from a distance, I think, let me just change my screen. Let me do that. So I think from a distance, it actually does look pretty good. So bearing in mind my perspex at the moment is clear, so it's got a blue plastic protective film on there. So I'm kind of hoping that this will look really good running along this wall. I do think I'm going to leave the bottom border on. I'll probably leave the top border on, but I do need to trim off these left and right edges, mainly because I've got the perspex cut to 1.5 meters, and these are meant to be 1.5 meters, and I think they are probably sort of picture edge to picture edge, but the white border is obviously just a little bit beyond that. Looking at that kind of thing, I don't know if you can see that when you put it onto the edge of the perspex and the edge of this perspex, it's ever so slightly longer. I guess the perspex is not cut exactly to 1.5 meters. I'm wondering if, because when I got some wood cut, they said you lose 2 mil, so maybe I should have got that cut to like 1502 millimeters, so that would have been acceptable. Anyway, I shall shortly film the epic attempt to put these flat onto each of these perspex coverings, perspex boards. That's going to be an interesting one to see what happens. my intent was to actually film putting these art printers back scenes onto my perspex, but basically my wife decided that she would help, and I thought, well, it's probably not a good idea to film that. So we have managed to put the back scenes up onto some perspex, although there is a little bit of blue on the top of that perspex. That's because the protective backing is still on the rear of it. I've removed it from the front, obviously. So here you go, this is what it would kind of look like. That probably isn't at the right height, but hey, I've actually done something that kind of makes it look a little bit like a model railway. Now obviously I could potentially run another one across here just to complete it, which I might well do at some point, but I have to say, obviously there's a bit of a gap there. I am using some of my foam cut-offs, which I think you can just see down at the moment, and just there to sort of hold it in place, although the stuff at the back isn't done, but I think it actually looks pretty good. I mean, there's a little bit of an overlap just there at the moment, but I think all in all it is looking pretty good. I haven't got the other lights on, so that's why it's a bit dark over in the corner there, but I think they actually do look the bee's knees. I'm quite happy with those. Obviously you could curve that because the perspex is only 2mm thick, so it could bend quite easily, although at the moment I don't want to bend because the plans up there is something different. I imagine these will probably be 10 or 15 centimeters taller, because if you imagine something like a train station just here, I've got a tripod on, that's why I keep banging stuff, they want to be slightly higher up, so I imagine they will be up maybe a little bit more than what they are at this moment in time, but I think that looks really good. Also, these are the ones which are on the polypropylene backing. You can peel off, but apparently you can glue them, so it is really good. I am really pleased with that. That certainly makes it look really good. Just a shame the track is out of stock. The DCC Concepts Power, I can't remember what it's called now, Mag Track, Power Track, something or other for doing the inclines, is out of stock. The DCC Concepts Foam is out of stock. It's all out of stock at the moment, and I've been waiting for a long time, but I guess that's COVID-19 is, I think, being shipped by sea, which is not essential, which is fair enough, I understand that. So yeah, I am very happy. Finally managed to get them up. If you look really closely, you can see the holes that I put on originally where I put them up, which is what I did in all the previous filming, but I found it was still too high, even though I thought I measured it, so I kind of mocked it up at the moment. So you can see here is It's not the station, but it is a station, so you can see that that is about that height. This may actually now still be too low to put the rail bed on, and then the track on top, and yeah, so it's kind of a bit of a mock-up, but I've got them up. Annoyingly, I have made a little bit of a boo-boo just here. I'm not sure if you can see that, but I've got a little bit of a line on there, which I think was when I took them down. One of them had a little bit of an overhang, which might have been this one, which I kind of didn't intend to have an overhang, but it did have an overhang, but it makes the it makes the joint pretty good. Wish I'd done that on all the other ones, which is rather annoying, but I think that one might have just laid on top of that one, and that is called the line. So I'm wondering if I'm really careful, I get some, you know, felt tip pens, sort of a darkish green of several different colours, I can just maybe slightly hide that. So there is a little bit of an issue, they do need to still be pinned backwards. So I'm going to use a bit of double-sided tape, I think, just to finish it off, but all in all, to make sure I can get it on something that it focuses from, I am pretty pleased with that. So the plan is, I think realistically is I'm going to have some kind of slope over here coming up into this section. Now, I don't know what that is, probably, how high is that? About 11.5 centimetres. So I need to put a slope, so there will be, I'm thinking like having another level going around. So I've got basically 2 loops available to myself, so this probably shows it better. Comes round, round under, disappears. It comes back out, goes round, and then there's going to be an upper level all the way around. So effectively, going to have, you know, 4 trains operational at any one time, and I haven't planned out any further. Although, as I've said before, I do have a plan. I used any rail to make a plan, but yeah, as you know, that all goes out the window sometimes, because although this is kind of designed how I want it to be, a bit annoyed by that gap there. You know, I think things evolve, don't they? So anyway, yeah, so I'm pretty pleased. It's looking good.
Thanks so much for watching to the end of the video, if you've managed to get there from the ramblings of a mad person. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell and you'll be told of future videos as I release them. And hit the like button if you enjoyed this complete and total madness. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, and I hope to see you again. Goodbye for now.